Oh, what a mess.
This is Neil Schneider from Meant to Be Seen. Welcome back to my messy basement. This is the plan for today. First, I'm going to talk about a really cool news story. Just the other day, Oculus announced that in the month of April, they had 1 million active users for the Samsung GearVR. That's a really good number. We're going to talk about it. Also, today is Microsoft Hololens Day. It's not really HoloLens Day. It's just that I finally got a chance to try it out at FMX. I got a great interview out of it. I'm personally excited about this. So for us, it's Microsoft's HoloLens Day. And we're going to have an interview, or actually we do have an interview with Joanna Webb. She's Learning Design Manager at Pearson, which is one of the world's top education companies. Really exciting stuff. And, of course, I'm going to share with you my own personal opinions about the Microsoft HoloLens. So I hope this will be of interest to you. Now, this week's hot button news story. It's all about Oculus. According to Oculus, over 1 million people used the Samsung Gear VR in the month of April. This includes all content. And, according to Oculus, 80% of them, or should I say 80% of the content that's being watched is video content. And the average use for the Gear VR is 25 minutes per day per user in the month of April. Now, here are some quick things to remember. The Gear VR has had availability since December of 2014. The current version, which is attached to the Galaxy S7, has been free with S7 pre-orders. So what Samsung and Oculus have done is they've effectively seeded the market. That when you pre-ordered a smartphone, and it wasn't limited to the S7, there have been other models that have had been seeded as well, you got your Gear VR for free. So they've done a very good job of getting the product out there. Now, these are my numbers. I mean, of course, they're not really based on anything. These are just my estimations. In March, I estimated that the Samsung Gear VR would achieve up to 12 million units within 12 months of launch. Okay, and this is published in Gamma Sutra, and you could read as to how I came up with that number. Now, given the length of time since then, if 5 million consumers have the device and 20% of them are actively using it, that's pretty darn good. I mean, so for Oculus to be getting 1 million active users in the month of April, out of an estimated 5 million based on my numbers, I think that's a very good result. So this is what I would like to know, and I think it would be helpful to others, is how much of the video is 360 content, and how much of it are these traditional 2D or 3D movie theater experiences, where you're in the movie theater or virtual reality movie theater, and you're looking at the movie on the big screen. Now, both answers are good. I mean, for 360 content, obviously it's great for VR content makers. And for the movie theater experiences, that's also good because this helps demonstrate product viability. If you're going to use it on airplanes or long trips or, entertainment on the go, this is all good stuff. Now, another question I had was, with 250 applications in the market, that's a number, that was thrown out by Oculus, why is video use so disproportionate? Why are users, 80% of them, using video content versus being a 50-50 matchup between the video and the digital content? I think, the content makers could learn a great deal from this as to which applications are most compelling and why. Now, there is one more possibility for the video content. I mean, given that users are using it 25 minutes a day, every day, and that use is... Oh, yeah, hang on. What was that use? Hang on. I can't... I lost my train of thought. Give me a minute. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hang on. Listen, sorry guys. I'm sorry. I can't remember. It's probably not important. So let's talk about augmented reality and mixed reality. Pearson is the world's largest education company. They own schools. They create educational materials for schools. They really cover the education market. Everybody working in this space knows the name Pearson. Now, Pearson is doing some amazing things with immersive technology, with the Microsoft HoloLens in particular. check out this interview with Joanna Webb, Learning Design Manager at Pearson. This is Neil Schneider for MTBS TV at FMX 2016. To my immediate right is Joanna Webb, Learning Design Manager at Pearson. Welcome to the program, Joanna.
Thank you very much.
So for those unfamiliar, tell us about Pearson. What does Pearson do?
So Pearson is the world's leading education company. We're the biggest education company in the world. We've got a long history in education and publishing, and we're now moving more into the digital sphere, looking at developing digital products and solutions for people.
Okay, so for being an education company, can you elaborate exactly what you do? I mean, do you have schools? Do you do publishing? What do you do?
So we cover the whole range of education, from products and schools that we own, right through to universities that we own, or products for universities, assessment, and also into the corporate training sphere, which is where I work, developing, using technologies to develop online and blended courses for companies.
And just so people appreciate how far-reaching you are, I mean, how many employees work at Pearson?
I think it's about 40,000 employees across the world.
40,000.
28 countries, I think.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, so obviously a very busy company. So what have you got in your hands?
So this is the Microsoft Hololens device. We are one of a partner that's working with Microsoft on developing content for the HoloLens device, specifically in the training arena, so education and training content for this device.
So why is HoloLens strategically important to Pearson? Like, what does it bring to the table?
That Pearson really wants to look forward to what are the future learning needs of all of our different learning communities going to be, and I think that we really want to be at the cutting edge of what's going on in that technology and understand not just why it's important, but how it can add to the learner, how it can add to the learner's experience and add something to their life going forward as well.
Okay, so why don't we talk a little bit about the HoloLens? I know you don't have to go into all the specifics of it, but can you briefly explain what it is? Like, what does it do that's so useful?
It allows you to project a hologram, usually a 3D model, or either just a straight 3D model or an app which has interaction as well, into the space in front of you. And in fact, you can open multiple windows into the space in front of you and have different 3D models, which allows you to do kind of exploratory learning or discovery of what's going on in the world around you. But you can still see the world around you at the same time as seeing the hologram. So that's different from virtual reality, where you're immersed in the world. This is augmented reality, and you can see the world and interact with the content.
It sounds really exciting. Obviously, it's very exciting. Can you talk about some of the content you've developed so far?
So far we're working with our clients, our Ministry of Defence clients in the UK, and we're developing for some of their engineering schools some interactive models that will allow their engineers to see the models in the augmented reality, rather than having to take big groups of students around and look at the actual vehicles, and also then to take the models apart, to explore them in their own way, and to really become confident with interacting with the vehicles that they're going to be working on in their day-to-day jobs.
In your opinion, is it just as effective as having the vehicles in front of you? Like, how convincing is it?
Well, some research that they'd already done in our engineering school showed that allowing the students to explore the vehicles in their own time, in their own way, in a discovery way, was much more effective than just taking them on a tour of a vehicle. So what we wanted to do was to really give the students the chance to interact with these modules in their own time and in their own virtual environment, and to keep revisiting all of the models in a way that was useful for them.
Now, is this really good for complex material? Like, I mean, does it make complex material more interesting, more exciting, easier to absorb?
I don't think there's been any. It's so new. I don't think there's been any research yet as to really how it can make complex material more useful. But what it does allow is kind of hands-on interaction with the material, because you can use gestures, you can move into the space of the material, you can walk around it, you can look underneath it, on top of it, take it apart. I think that's where the real value of it comes.
Now, I don't know how many of these you've got access to, but I know they're few and far between. In the long-term future,
can you share a vision for Pearson? Like, where would you ultimately like to go with this?
I think that we'd like to use it across our business in many different areas, and many different ages of learner. But what we want to do is provide a product or a range of products that are really valuable for the learner, and not just technology for the sake of technology. A lot of people coming here have been very excited by using this, looking at this technology, but eventually the wow factor will kind of wear off, and we want to make sure that it's pedagogically sound and that the things we've produced have a real effect.
What's been the response so far? I mean, has this gone through the mill with students? Like, how far along have you come with this?
No, we've just started developing it. In the next few weeks, I think we'll start testing it with some of our students, and then we'll see how we go from there, yeah.
Wonderful. Really exciting stuff. It's always good to see this stuff in action. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Okay, let's talk about the actual Microsoft HoloLens. Does it add up? Here's a quick clip of how the Microsoft HoloLens has been presented to the general public.
I'm planning a trip to Hawaii in a couple weeks, so I placed this awesome weather app over here, so when I'm moving around, I can easily glance at it, reference it, and understand what the weather's going to be like when I get there, hopefully still hot. Then if I look up here on the wall, to my left, I've got a video player. I simply reach out, air tap, and I'm right in the action.
Now, what if Darren has things to do around the house? He shouldn't be confined to watching just on one wall. He should be able to take his entertainment with him anywhere and remain hands-free as he does it.
Yeah, so all I need to say is follow me. Now wherever I go in my house, my entertainment tags along.
Okay, looks really exciting. So, does it meet up to this? What is the actual result? Well, first off, very easy to put on. You just, you put it on your head, there's a little knob in the back to tighten it. It was fine. I mean, I was comfortable. I really had nothing to complain about. The positional tracking, in other words, its ability to detect where you're looking and how you're positioned, whether you're kneeling, crouching, standing, sitting, the whole thing, it was excellent. I had absolutely nothing to complain about the positional tracking. I did some reading. My understanding is it's a similar concept to the Kinect with depth cameras mixed with accelerometers and gyroscopes and magnetometers. But however they're making it work, it works. It was really impressive. The gesture technology was, I'll say it was okay. I didn't have enough to work with to know how accurate it is or, its range of motion and the whole thing. It worked for what I saw, and what I saw in this case was, a standing body, and you can wave through to get through different parts of the demonstration, or you tap on certain things. But again, it wasn't enough to go on to know how good or how accurate that gesture technology was. So I'm going to say it was okay. The audio was also okay. There were no headphones. I don't know if you could plug headphones into this, but the point is that when you wear that, when you wear the HoloLens, there are speakers and you're able to hear the audio. So it's really good if you're, let's say you're in a museum and you need to put something on someone's head and they need to hear what's going on, but they also need to hear what's going on in the real world as well. So maybe it was designed that way, of course, on purpose for for that reason. But nonetheless, the audio was okay, nothing spectacular, but again, I had no expectations going in. The field of view. Okay, this, we naturally see about 170 degrees of field of view, give or take. This was compared to the other products I've seen in the market, this was a huge disappointment. Okay, the field of view was extremely restrictive. I'd almost call it a postage stamp relative to the other things I've seen. In fact, the closer you get to digital objects, so let's say, in this particular demo, I was looking at a standing body or a standing skeleton, and as you got closer, you were able to see less and less and less. So it was very restrictive. I tried to look up how the field of view is described, and one source described it as a 15-inch display, let's say a 15-inch computer monitor, being viewed from 2 feet away. And in my opinion, it's even smaller than that. So I'm not even sure, remembering that this is a developer's kit, it's not intended as a final release product, it's not quite practical as it is. It's an excellent proof of concept. I mean, you can't help but be excited by it because they've got so many things going on that work really, really well. It's just that field of view. It takes away from the vision of what HoloLens is supposed to be. So again, it's just a developer's kit. I'm really hopeful that Microsoft has something else in the works because there is a lot of potential behind this. That's all for today. Do you have an opinion to share? Is there something you want to see here in my messy basement? Would you like to pay us a visit virtually? Email neilsmessybasement@mtbs3d.com.